We've all been there. That moment when the air feels heavy and time seems to slow down. That sinking feeling when someone disrespects us. It's like a punch to the gut, leaving us breathless and bewildered. Maybe it was a cutting remark, a dismissive gesture, or being completely ignored. Each act of disrespect chips away at our confidence. It stings. It makes us question ourselves and our worth. We replay the moment over and over, wondering what we did wrong. I remember a time when I was presenting a new idea at work. The room was filled with anticipation, and I was eager to share my vision. I had poured my heart and soul into it. Countless hours of research, planning, and rehearsing had gone into this presentation. During the presentation, a colleague interrupted me repeatedly, belittling my ideas in front of everyone. His words were sharp, his tone condescending. I felt humiliated and small. My face burned with embarrassment, and I could feel the eyes of my colleagues on me. In that moment, I wanted to lash out, to defend myself with equal force, but something stopped me. A voice inside reminded me to stay calm. I knew that reacting with anger would only escalate the situation. It would give him more power over me, and I refused to let that happen. I also knew that my worth, my value, wasn't tied to his opinion. I had to remind myself of my strengths and the hard work I had put in. That experience taught me a valuable lesson, that true strength lies in our ability to remain composed and confident, even in the face of disrespect. Handling disrespect is not about winning or losing. It's about maintaining our integrity and not letting others dictate our self-worth. It's about staying true to ourselves, maintaining our dignity, and responding in a way that empowers us. In the end, it's our response that defines us, not the disrespect we face. Disrespect, whether a casual slight or a deliberate attack, has a corrosive effect. It undermines our confidence, breeds resentment, and damages relationships. When we are constantly exposed to disrespect, it chips away at our sense of self-worth. In the workplace, disrespect can lead to decreased productivity, increased stress, and conflict among colleagues. It creates a toxic environment where people feel unsafe to express themselves or share ideas. The impact of disrespect extends far beyond the individual. It poisons our communities, creating a climate of fear and mistrust. When we tolerate disrespect, we become complicit in perpetuating a culture where it thrives. Choosing to address disrespect is not about being difficult or confrontational. It's about creating a culture of respect, where everyone feels valued and heard. When faced with disrespect, our first instinct is often to react defensively. This is a natural reaction, rooted in our fight-or-flight response. Our body perceives a threat, and we feel the need to protect ourselves, sometimes aggressively. This defensive stance, however, can escalate the situation, leading to more conflict and misunderstanding. Our heart races, our palms sweat, and we want to fight back. These physical reactions are signs of our body gearing up for a confrontation. But while our body is ready for a fight, our mind might not be. This disconnect can lead to actions we later regret. But reacting in the heat of the moment rarely leads to a positive outcome. Instead, it often results in saying things we don't mean or making decisions that aren't in our best interest. The immediate satisfaction of lashing out is usually followed by regret and a damaged relationship. The first step is to pause. This simple act of stopping ourselves from reacting immediately can make a huge difference. It gives us a moment to breathe and regain our composure. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that you are in control of your response. Deep breathing helps to calm the nervous system, reducing the physical symptoms of stress. It also gives us a moment to think before we act. This pause, however brief, allows us to collect our thoughts and choose a course of action that aligns with our values. It's a moment to reflect on what we truly want to achieve in the situation and how best to get there. One effective strategy is to simply acknowledge the disrespect without engaging in an argument. This can be done by calmly stating that you recognize the other person's feelings or perspective. You can say something like, "I understand you see it differently," or "I hear what you're saying." These phrases show that you are listening and that you respect their viewpoint, even if you don't agree with it. This acknowledges their perspective without agreeing with it. It helps to de-escalate the situation by showing empathy and understanding, which can often diffuse anger and frustration. Another powerful tool is humor. Humor can be a great way to lighten the mood and reduce tension. It can help to break the cycle of negativity and bring a more positive energy to the interaction. A well-placed joke can diffuse tension and shift the energy of the interaction. It can make the situation feel less serious and more manageable, allowing both parties to relax and communicate more effectively. Humor, when used appropriately, can disarm the person being disrespectful and remind everyone that we're all human. It can create a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect, making it easier to resolve conflicts and move forward positively. Setting boundaries is crucial for protecting ourselves from disrespect. It's about defining what is acceptable and what isn't in our interactions with others. Boundaries help us maintain our self-respect and ensure that our needs are met. Boundaries are the limits we set on how others are allowed to treat us. They are essential for maintaining healthy relationships and ensuring mutual respect. Without boundaries, we risk losing our sense of self and becoming overwhelmed by others' demands. They are a way of communicating our needs and values. By setting boundaries, we let others know what we stand for and what we will not tolerate. This clarity helps prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. When we don't set boundaries, we send the message that it's okay for others to disrespect us. This can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even burnout. It's important to recognize when our boundaries are being crossed and take action to protect them. We teach people how to treat us by what we tolerate. If we allow disrespectful behavior to continue, it will likely persist. By standing firm and enforcing our boundaries, we show others that we value ourselves and expect the same from them. Saying no to disrespect can be uncomfortable at first, but it's essential for our well-being. It takes practice and courage to stand up for ourselves, but the more we do it, the easier it becomes. Over time, we build confidence in our ability to protect our boundaries. Start by identifying your non-negotiables. These are the behaviors and actions that you absolutely will not accept. Write them down and reflect on why they are important to you. This clarity will help you communicate your boundaries more effectively. What behaviors are you absolutely not willing to tolerate? Think about past experiences where you felt disrespected or uncomfortable. Use these experiences to guide you in setting your boundaries. Once you know your boundaries, communicate them clearly and assertively. Use I statements to express how you feel and what you need. For example, I feel disrespected when you interrupt me. Please let me finish speaking. Remember that setting boundaries is not about controlling others. It's about taking care of ourselves and ensuring that our interactions are respectful and healthy. Boundaries are a form of self-care and self-respect. It's about taking care of ourselves. When we prioritize our well-being, we are better equipped to handle life's challenges and maintain positive relationships. Self-care is not selfish. It's necessary for a balanced and fulfilling life. When we respect our own boundaries, we teach others to respect them as well. By modeling healthy boundary setting, we encourage others to do the same, creating a culture of mutual respect and understanding. Section 5. The gift of assertive communication. Assertive communication is a powerful tool for handling disrespect. It's about expressing our needs and feelings directly, respectfully, and honestly, while also acknowledging the other person's perspective. When we communicate assertively, we use I statements to express our feelings and needs. For example, instead of saying you're being disrespectful, you could say, I feel disrespected when you speak to me that way. Assertive communication also involves active listening. This means really paying attention to what the other person is saying, asking clarifying questions, and trying to understand their point of view. Remember, assertive communication is not about being aggressive or passive. It's about finding the balance between respecting ourselves and respecting others. Section 6. Self-respect, your inner armor. Self-respect is the foundation of our ability to handle disrespect from others. When we value and respect ourselves, we are less likely to tolerate being treated poorly. Self-respect comes from within. It's about recognizing our own worth, regardless of external validation. It's about treating ourselves with kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. Building self-respect takes time and effort. It's a journey, not a destination. Start by identifying your strengths and accomplishments. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Practice self-care. Make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. When we take care of ourselves, we send a powerful message that we deserve to be treated with respect. Section 7. Forgiveness and letting go. Freeing yourself. Forgiveness is not about condoning the other person's behavior. It's about freeing ourselves from the anger, resentment, and hurt that we hold on to. Holding on to anger and resentment only hurts us in the long run. It keeps us stuck in the past, prevents us from moving forward, and can even impact our physical health. Forgiveness is a process, and it takes time. It's okay to feel angry and hurt. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, but don't let them consume you. Remember that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's about releasing the negative emotions so you can move on with your life. Section 8. Cultivating respectful relationships. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. It's about valuing the other person's thoughts, feelings, and experiences, even if you don't always agree with them. Building respectful relationships requires effort from both parties. It's about open communication, active listening, and empathy. It's about being willing to see things from the other person's perspective. One way to cultivate respect in your relationships is to practice gratitude. Focus on the positive qualities of the other person and appreciate the good things they bring to your life. Remember that relationships are a two-way street. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Show respect even when it's difficult, and you'll find that it's often reciprocated. Section 9. The power of respect. A more compassionate world. Respect is more than just good manners. It's a fundamental human value that underpins a just and compassionate society. When we treat each other with respect, we create a world where everyone feels safe, valued, and heard. We foster a sense of belonging and connection. It starts with each of us. By choosing to treat ourselves and others with respect, we contribute to a ripple effect that can transform our communities and the world around us. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us choose respect, always.